Hey YouTube, today we are going to be doing another reaction video, and I bet you know what this one's going to already be, judging by the title of course, and what I'm wearing and what's right behind me. It's going to be a reaction to my Cars 2 the video game comparison video. So, as you can see, I've went all Cars 2 themed. I've got my Cars 2 shirt. I'll show you guys. Alright, I think that's all I have to show for the shirt. And then I have all my copies of the video game right behind me. Unfortunately, I am not showing my poster over here because it's already up over there by my setup, so I am not going to take that off. And besides, right behind me, there, as you can see, there isn't really a lot of room. So we're just gonna do with what we have. So I think that's all I have to say. So let's get to it, shall we?
Cars 2, the video game, is my favorite game of all time, so I figured I'd do a
Sorry about that. Oh, that's strange. Why isn't it showing my screen? It should show my screen. Alright, give me a second here. Alright, there we go. Should have to fix that minor issue, so sorry about the inconvenience.
Comparison. Cars 2, the video game, is my favorite game of all time, so I figured I'd do a comparison video of all 5 versions now that I own all 5 versions. So let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. So, I want to keep in mind, in case you're watching this video, that this is another video. This is the second video in the Versus series that I have for my 5 favorite systems. The PS3, Xbox 360, the DS, the Wii, and the 3DS. And if I ever get to it at some point, maybe I will make a, of course, fan-made animation of what it would be like for these consoles if they were actually alive. But keep in mind, even this is going to be different from how they would be in the console wars where they compete against each other. This time around, the consoles will actually be friends and hang out. But I'm not sure that I'm definitely doing that, so don't rely on it to happen. So let's get right back to the video. And in case you're wondering, that music is actually the menu music in Cars 2 the video game. At least the home console versions anyway. Yes, that peaceful music, even though Cars 2 definitely is not very peaceful. Because it's a spy game and a racing
So in
game
case you're wondering what the icon is for the PlayStation 3, it is just the Cars 2 logo, and you also get some music in the background like with many PS3.
You don't necessarily get music in most PS3 games that you see on the menu, but you would normally get a picture here, if definitely not a video or music there. So that's what I meant to say.
Games.
And keep in mind, I did not make this all in one day. It took me, I think, a week at least to make this video. I've been filming since April 29th.
For the Xbox 360 game, there's only really an icon if you check your achievements, and that's just the number 2. and the picture for when you start the game is just a picture of Mater and Lightning running away from the spy explosion.
And that picture is actually the same picture that is the background for my computer. For this computer that I'm using for the reaction video, which is pretty funny.
The icon for the Nintendo DS game is again just the logo.
And I also I want you guys to keep in mind that I'm not using my phone for this like a majority of videos. I am using a camera which I'll actually go get right now and show you. So, this is the camera that I was using for it. It's a Canon, it's a Canon PowerShot SD4500IS. Yeah, that's all I have to say for that. Oh, and also one thing I want to point out, because you're watching this video, is the fact that these pictures of the consoles here are obviously not the versions of the consoles that I own, because of course I don't own an original Nintendo DSi, and I don't own a PS3 Slim. I own a PS3 Fat, and I have a DS Lite that's at my setup. And for the Xbox 360 I do have it, except maybe I mentioned this in another video, but the difference is that the fact that my console does not have the glossy disk drive over here, so I can tell it's the arcade model. But I wasn't too familiar with the models, especially at the time when I bought my 360, especially since I wasn't too familiar with the different models or versions of the original Xbox 360. So, oh, and there, I should point out, yeah, right over there, and I didn't even see it when I was recording. I didn't see it through the camera when I was recording. Whenever you record anything and you see your Wii here, your sensor bar, well, there will be certain colors or dots on the sides of the sensor bar, which I don't think are possible to be seen by naked eye. So, you can only see them by camera, so just wanted to point that out, and I've definitely seen that on a few other YouTube videos. So that's how I know that.
Again, for this one, the icon for the game on the Wii menu is just the number 2, but on the channel for it, it shows the Cars 2 logo and transitions between Mater, Lightning McQueen, and Finn McMissile.
Yep, and there you can definitely see more clear the dots on the sensor bar, and I think it's something in there that allows the sensor bar to detect the Wii remote. I think that's what those dots are, or something like that. If you know what it is, because I'm not exactly sure, you can let me know in the comments below.
The icon for the 3DS game is again just the Cars 2 logo, and also is the picture you see on the top screen.
And here's the speed comparison, which is what the first video in the Versus series actually revolved around, speed tests. Except this is the only speed test that we have here for this video. So the 3DS was the first one to get to the menu. So as you can see, the DS and 3DS versions definitely have different startups there. I can actually go through them as the process goes. So basically, for the 3DS one, like every single 3DS game, it starts off with showing the 3DS logo, and because it's a third-party game, it says licensed by Nintendo. And then it shows the loading there, which, by the way, it is, you see a loading here for the DS as well, and it's actually a bit slower and a little laggier than the 3DS version. As you can see, the 3DS one is more smooth. For the Wii, we of course have the Wii Remote warning like we do with every single game. Even though this is not going to be a game where you actually have to have the Wii Remote like that, pointing it at the TV. Then we get, with the DS and 3DS versions, Firebrand games powered by Octane. And then for this, also for the DS, you get, before that, you get licensed by Nintendo Mobile Clip Video Codec. Here we get 2006 Luxo Jr. here for the 3DS one. Here we have regular Luxo Jr. from 95 on all of these other versions, including the DS version here. Just with the others, we actually get a video of it. Then we get Disney Interactive, except it just says Disney here for the 3DS. And then for this one, it actually, specifically for this one, it says Disney Pixar Cars 2 the video game. And then has the information on the bottom screen. For the DS, it just says Disney Pixar Cars 2, and that actually, even though the DS is pixelated, as I mentioned, and you guys know already, at least from this angle, it actually does look decent, and it's hard to tell through any pixels. So around the newer time, the DS didn't have as much pixelation, and it actually did look decent. And the funny enough thing is the fact that that we get this video introduction here for Cars 2 from the Cars 2 trailer 2, actually officially posted from Pixar on their YouTube channel back then. We get that, and we get this here, and the audio, of course, I know you can't really hear it, but the audio sounds a bit grainy, I guess. But the quality, even though it doesn't look like pixelated quality, it actually just looks like it's 480p or even 240p quality for this. Which we should get it on the 3DS version, because we'd also have it more wider, and then it'd be better sound and better video. Probably at least 720p, maybe. Then we get Avalanche software here, Disney Interactive Studios with the home console builds. And we get World Grand Prix over here, and then just all the information on the other versions, of course. The DS was the second console to get to the main menu, and I have the number of minutes it took and the number of seconds, of course. Let's see which one will make it. Xbox 360 made it third, Wii made it fourth, and the PS3 is the last one to make it to the menu. First, we're going to be looking at the PlayStation 3 version.
With the PS3 version of Cars 2, you get Chrome, Free Play, Awards, Options.
And keep in mind, that voice actually does sound like I'm actually saying it when the camera's there, except That is not the case. I'm actually doing a voiceover.
Garage, and World of Cars Online. For the Chrome missions, you have new agent training, and you have 6 clearance levels. For the free play, you have 8 options: race, battle race, attack, survival, arena, disruptor, hunter, squad series.
Everybody ready?
For the garage, here you can check out all of the cars that you have unlocked.
And also
You can
some
also,
cars that
while
you
you
have not
can,
unlocked.
get extra characters and download some DLC from the PlayStation Store as long as they have
I
it
think
open.
all this down here is the DLC that you
So
get from
far, the characters
from
that
the
I have
PlayStation
unlocked at the
4.
time of this video are Lightning McQueen, Mater, Finn McMissile, Holly Shiftwell, the 4 main ones of course, Francesco, Raul,
Keep in mind, I didn't
Carla
know the
Veloso,
correct pronunciations
Jeff
for all of
Corbett,
these characters, because you see I kind
Shu
of
Todoroki,
butcher the pronunciation.
Max Schnell, Fillmore, Sarge, Luigi, Grem, Acer, Materhosen, Brand New Fillmore, Camo Sarge, and Teen Lightning Guido.
And this one is, I believe, the regular race, not the battle race or anything like that. And this is just my experience of it.
What is taking so long? See you around sometime.
And just because you're watching this video, I'll try my best to mention the controls, so I'll get my controllers really quick. First, I'm going to be talking about the PlayStation 3 controller. The 6-axis DualShock 3 controller is the one I have here. So basically, of course, you use the left joystick to move. You use the R2 button to accelerate. I think L2 is to brake. The X button here is to jump. The B button, if you do it with, I think, the left joystick, you can drift. The triangle button allows you to use your objects you get from to use your attacks. And the square button, I believe, is to, what is it called? Oh, it's to use your turbo, as you can even see the symbol right over here. So those are the controls, basically, for the PlayStation 3 edition of the game. Yeah, Lightning McQueen definitely hates it when you scrape his paint. Even though nothing actually happens to him, at least in the game. Oh, that was kind of rough. I feel like the best reaction videos that I think would be best full reactions would probably be my skit videos, which I actually have not made a skit video in quite some time. I have multiple ideas, but I don't know what to do, and I've never ever gotten around to it, so just stay tuned for when I do make them. They will definitely be coming this year, I promise. And no, I'm not familiar with what the L and R buttons do. Actually, this is L1 and this is L2. Or L1 and R1 rather. I'm not sure what the D-pad does, and I'm not sure what the right analog stick does.
I'm throwing you. Now we're talking.
Yeah, now we're talking.
I'll make sure you don't.
So I'm gonna go get my Xbox 360 controller, because that's gonna be the next version.
With the Xbox 360 version of Cars 2, you get pretty much all the same options that I showed you with the PlayStation 3 version of the game, so far.
So there isn't really anything else that needs to be said about this version, because it's
For the
similar to that
Xbox
of the
360 version so
PS3
far, the
version.
characters I have are Lightning McQueen,
Moving on.
And
Mater,
probably the Wii
Finn
version at this
McMissile,
point.
Holly Shipwell, Francesco,
Yeah.
Raoul,
Oh, I
Carlo
accidentally turned on my
Veloso,
Xbox.
Jeff
Someone turn it off.
Gorvette, Shu, Todoroki, Fillmore, Sarge, Luigi, Acer, and brand new Fillmore.
Alright, so now I will talk about the controls. So, basically, since the joysticks are in a different spot than they are on the PlayStation controller, but still, you use this joystick to move. I'm not sure what the D-pad or right analog stick does, but it's the same position as the PS3 version. So basically, the A button is what was the A button? Oh, to jump, I think. The B button was to do your drift, I think, with this joystick here. The Y button was... The X button is definitely the turbo, and the Y button is to use your items. And this is the battle race, I think. And then, of course, the RT button is to accelerate, and the LT button is to brake. It's the same build, except of course you're going to be seeing different buttons, but otherwise it's the same one. You're just going to be seeing different buttons depending on what version you play, in terms of the home console versions anyway.
Awesome. Hope you got your insurance.
Velocity escape drive prepared.
Hey, watch it. Oh, come on, really?
Yeah, one thing to note is that it takes away some of your energy if you get hit by one of those, or if you get hit in any way, I guess.
Missile engine acquired.
was a big explosion there.
Hope you got good insurance.
Missile launch acquired.
Alright. Next, we're going to have the DS version, so I'll just tell you the button placement since of course there is no controller.
Now the DS version of Cars 2 is different from the other versions that we've covered so far, where we have the story mode, Chrome, Quick Race, World of Cars, profiles, options, and extras.
Welcome to Chrome. Here you may simulate races and field missions.
Chrome is a little bit different than it is on the other versions. For these handheld versions.
On Chrome,
anyway.
you have single race, field missions, circuit cup, multiplayer, and spy code. Your spy code would come in handy when you picked up your copy of Cars 2 on the DS.
I'll show you what I mean by that. So I've got my DS copy here. So the DS copy was the only version of Cars 2 that actually came with a bunch of other stuff and not just the instruction manual. So I'll take everything out and show you. So you've got the instruction manual here. This right here is the spy code that I think you'd type in at Disney's. Oh no, you type it here. Hang on a second. Let me check the information. Yeah, you just type it into the game, but I don't think it works, especially since I've tried it and I think it requires a Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, which of course it's shut down. But anyway, we have a World of Cars registration. Definitely won't work because World of Cars is also way done now. It's been done for 12 years. We got a folded poster. I'm not going to fold it out all the way for obvious reasons. And then we have the Wi-Fi instruction booklet and then the precautions booklet that comes with pretty much every single Nintendo DS game. So I'm going to put all of these inserts back here. I'm not going to be actually using the Cars 2 poster that this came with, just because I just want to keep it intact. So I'm going to put this back here for a second. Alright, now that actually looks good. Now let's continue watching the video.
It would come with a code that you would register to Disney, I think their website,
You
and
don't
you get the
register
code
to their
there
website, you
to
register
unlock
through
a
the
new
game,
character.
I think. So keep in mind, for the controls for the DS one, so to move you use the D-pad, and the only other button to use is the A button, which is to accelerate, like you would in Mario Kart. Except the fact that the objects are gone and there's no battle race and attack in this one, so. But I'm not surprised because I played the 3DS version first. This is basically what the 3DS version is, except the 3DS version has better graphics. And on the bottom screen you get to see where you are in the race, just like you did with Mario Kart. Except you do get speed boosts at least, and you actually get a special kind of jump anyways for Lightning McQueen, or you get a special ability when you press the X button. actually to use those speed boosts, you actually press the L button, and to drift, you have to use the R button. And for these games, I'm going to be honest, I feel like Owen Wilson is not voicing Lightning McQueen in this game anyway. If you know for sure if Owen Wilson is actually voicing these, let me know. Because definitely, at least the voice of Mater and Finn McMissile, those voices are still the voices from the movie, so I'm surprised why Lightning, I'm not sure about Holly, but it's surprised to see that Lightning might not have Owen Wilson voicing him, considering that's his voice in the movie. In all the Cars movies, actually.
Simulation complete.
Next, we have the Wii version, so I'm gonna go get my Wii controller really quick. So, I'm actually not just using the Wii remote, especially for this video. I'm using the classic controller, so I'm gonna plug it into the Wii remote here. And now let's
With the
start.
Wii version of Cars 2, we get a little bit of a different introduction, with the text saying press the A button to start, and we get to have 3 save files. But otherwise, we get all of the same stuff that we got with the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions. The characters I have unlocked for this game
The only
at the time
difference
of
is the fact that this is in 480p, with this being the Wii, but you can play it in HD through your Wii U.
video are the 4 basics: Lightning McQueen, Mater, Finn McMissile, Holly Shifwell, and then we have Francesco, Raul, Carla Veloso, Jeff Corvette, Shu Tordor Roki, Fillmore, Sarge, Luigi, Brand New Fillmore, and Camo Sarge.
So the controls, so keep in mind, the Wii Classic controller basically is a combination of the Super Nintendo controller and the PlayStation controllers. The fact that it's an oval and well, the controller's shaped like an oval, and since it has no grips anyway, this one anyway. But if you have the Classic Controller Pro, it's still the exact same, just the fact that this one has no grips. But to drift, it's still with the R button. You have to hold down R. To move, it's with the joystick. To jump, it's actually B this time, but otherwise, it's the same button placement as you would know on the PlayStation and Xbox controllers here. The A button is to drift with the left stick, but otherwise I'm not exactly sure what that button does alone. The X button actually is to use your object, and the Y button is to use your boost. But it's a different story if you're holding the Wii remote. And keep in mind, you actually have to hold the Wii remote sideways for this game, but I'm not exactly sure the controls of just using the Wii remote here. So, and for this one, we're actually doing the battle race. For the Xbox 361, we were doing the
Now, I just want to mention,
attack.
for this race,
We were doing the attack. This is the battle race.
Actually using my classic controller. I'm not using the Wii remote, but with the Wii remote, keep in mind it's a game that you will be playing with the Wii remote sideways.
And I just said that. Oh, actually, the right joystick actually does have a purpose, at least one purpose. It is you can bash into other cars and knock them out, so. That's the point of the right joystick or the right analog stick for all versions of all home console versions of the game.
Hey, watch it!
Some people even say, well, I mean, I've seen this in one of the reviews for the game. I don't remember from which company, but they said it combines Mario Kart and Burnout together. But I actually don't know what Burnout is. I'm pretty sure a lot of you would know Mario Kart, but I do not know what Burnout is. I have the feeling it's a
Make way for
PlayStation
touchdown!
franchise.
Touchdown! Hey, that didn't hurt you, did it, buddy?
He's talking to Mater.
Just a little something I picked up from a
Oh,
friend.
he just hit me.
I gotta admit,
Yeah, for this game, Mater definitely still has the original voice in the movie, which is Larry the Cable Guy.
High-level weapon in play.
oh, come on, really? Play while it lasts. Oh, bring it on!
You know what? That might actually be Owen Wilson. Now that I think about it, and now that I hear it too. But it's hard to tell if it actually is or isn't. I mean, definitely in the Cars game, the first Cars games before Cars 2, the video game. All the Cars games before Cars 2, I believe Owen Wilson at least voices them
Now
all.
for the 3DS version.
So I'm gonna put my Wii controller away for a second because now I'm going to be showing you the controls for the Nintendo 3DS version. Alrighty, so
It's very similar to the DS version of Cars 2. You get story mode, Chrome, Quick Race, Profiles, Options, and Extras.
except the only thing that's not there is the world of Cars. You don't get that with the 3DS version for some reason.
With Chrome on the 3DS, you have single race, field missions, circuit cup, and multiplayer, just you have no spy code that came with any copy of the game.
Begin simulation.
Now, the controls for 3DS.
Keep in mind, the racing controls for the 3DS are the exact same as the Nintendo DS version of the game, so you can use the D-pad if you want, but you probably want to use the circle pad for this one, especially since now you have that option.
So said everything I need to say, but to keep in mind is the exact same controls, just you can use the circle pad that Nintendo wants you to call it now. You can use the circle pad, which is probably more recommended than the D-pad, but otherwise it's the exact same controls as the DS version, just now you have a better way of moving around, and you can move around in 360 degrees. And hey, 360 and Xbox 360 is one of these platforms. And It's basically the same build, other than the fact that this has better graphics, and also the fact you can play it in 3D. But of course, for this, I have 3D off, but you wouldn't be able to notice it through the camera. You notice kind of an effect on there, which would mean that the 3D is working. But just in order for the 3D, it just has to be seen through your eyes. You can't really see it through a camera, and you definitely cannot see it through screen capturing. And only the top screen has the 3D, the bottom screen does not, and that's the touch screen, so that could be why. And if they put it in the bottom screen, the bottom touch screen, I think it'd probably be more expensive at launch price anyway. And this is actually one of the games in the 3DS's first year of being on the market or being on sale at all. And with the bottom screen, you still get the opportunity to see the map and everything like you did on the DS version.
Simulation complete.
So that's my full comparison video on Cars 2, the video game for the PS3, Xbox 360, Nintendo DS, Wii, and Nintendo 3DS. The second video in that comparison series. So stay tuned for more. Suggest what you want me to do with those consoles in comparisons, and I will see you next time.